The story begins on a snowy Christmas Eve in the heart of London. A young girl named Clara Stahlbaum is busy tinkering with a small mechanical device, her nimble fingers and sharp mind focused on gears and levers. Clara is not an ordinary girl. She has a natural talent for understanding how things work, just like her late mother, Marie Stahlbaum, a brilliant inventor. Tonight, however, Clara's heart is heavy. This is the first Christmas without her mother. Her father, Mr. Stahlbaum, is trying his best to keep the family together, but the loss still hangs over them like a silent shadow. Clara's elder sister, Louise, and younger brother, Fritz, are also adjusting in their own ways. That evening the family gathers in the parlor, where their father presents each child with a Christmas gift. Gifts that their mother had prepared before she passed away. Clara receives a beautifully crafted silver egg-shaped box made of polished metal. The craftsmanship is delicate and intricate, its surface engraved with patterns of snowflakes and swirls. It has a small keyhole, but no key. Along with the egg is a note from her mother. Everything you need is inside. Clara studies the egg with curiosity, turning it over in her hands, trying to figure out its mechanism. But without the key, it refuses to open. Her father interrupts, telling the children to get ready. They are invited to the grand Christmas Eve party at the estate of Drosselmeyer, Clara's godfather, a toymaker, engineer, and her mother's old friend. Clara has always admired Drosselmeyer's genius for inventions and intricate machines. She hopes he might know something about the egg. The family arrives at Drosselmeyer's lavishly decorated mansion. Lights twinkle across the snowy garden, and the scent of cinnamon and pine fills the air. Inside, guests in elegant attire fill the grand hall, laughter and music echoing through the high-ceilinged space. Clara quietly slips away from her siblings and approaches Drosselmeyer, showing him the egg. He examines it with keen interest but shakes his head, telling her he did not make the key. He admits he crafted the egg for her mother, who was intelligent and resourceful enough to design it herself. Soon, Drosselmeyer gathers the children for a special game. He has set up a web of golden strings hanging from the ceiling, each labeled with a child's name. The game is simple. Each child must follow their string through the winding hallways to find a hidden gift at the other end. Clara finds her string marked with her name and begins to follow it. She weaves her way past other children, down staircases, and through darkened corridors. The string leads her outside into a snowy courtyard. The cold bites at her cheeks as she continues along the path until she finds herself in a strange forest blanketed in snow. She sees her string vanish into the hollow trunk of a massive, ancient tree. A faint glow flickers from within. Clara steps closer, peering inside, and spots a small golden key resting delicately on a branch. She instantly realizes it's the key to her mother's egg. But before she can reach it, a tiny brown mouse darts out, grabs the key in its mouth, and scurries away into the distance. Determined, Clara chases after it. The mouse bounds across a frozen river, disappearing into the mist on the other side. Clara approaches the icy surface, hesitant to cross. That's when she notices a tall, still figure nearby, a statue of a soldier in ornate armor, standing guard with a sword in hand. As Clara reaches for the frozen river, the statue's eyes suddenly open. It comes to life, lowering its sword and blocking her path. He introduces himself as Captain Philip Hoffman, the guard of this realm, and informs her she cannot pass without permission. Clara explains that the mouse stole her key and crossed the river. She must retrieve it. Philip asks her name. When she says Clara Stahlbaum, his eyes widen in astonishment. He kneels before her, declaring her the princess of the realm. Confused, Clara protests, saying he must be mistaken. But Philip insists her mother, Marie, was the queen of this magical world, which makes Clara the rightful princess. Clara, believing this might be an elaborate extension of Drosselmeyer's party game, decides to play along. She tells Philip that if she is the princess, he must obey her orders. Philip agrees. Clara orders him to help her find the mouse and retrieve the key. Philip mounts his horse and lifts Clara onto it. They ride across the frozen river into the dense, snowy forest beyond. Soon, Clara spots the mouse again. She jumps down to give chase, but the mouse vanishes into the shadows. Moments later, a monstrous creature emerges from the darkness. A massive figure made entirely of writhing mice, their bodies moving together as one horrifying beast. The creature grabs Clara and tries to carry her away. Philip charges forward, striking at the beast with his sword. The swarm scatters, and he rescues Clara, carrying her to safety. They arrive at a grand, ornate palace built of glittering ice and marble. This is the royal castle where Clara's mother once ruled. As they enter, everyone in the hall bows their heads, recognizing her as the princess. Clara walks through the corridors, marveling at portraits and artifacts, until she stops in front of a large painting of her mother, Marie, wearing a crown. Philip leads her to a council chamber where 3 regents await, leaders of different realms within this magical land. Among them is the Sugar Plum Fairy, a graceful figure in a sparkling pink dress with a voice like honey. Sugar Plum greets Clara warmly, but grows somber when Clara tells her that Marie has passed away. None of them had known of the Queen's death. Sugar Plum explains that this is the land of the 4 realms, a magical world divided into 4 distinct kingdoms. Clara belongs here as her mother's heir. Clara insists she must return home, as her family is waiting for her, but Sugar Plum assures her that time moves differently here. Even if she spends hours or days in this world, only minutes will pass in the real one. Sugar Plum invites Clara to prepare for the upcoming royal celebration and promises she will explain everything. She dresses Clara in a beautiful gown and a delicate tiara, making her look every bit the princess she is meant to be. During the evening's festivities, Sugar Plum presents a magical ballet performance. The dancers tell the story of the 4 realms through graceful movement. 3 of the realms are peaceful and prosperous: the land of snowflakes, the land of flowers, and the land of sweets. But the 4th realm, once harmonious, has fallen under the control of Mother Ginger, its ruler. Once a trusted leader, Mother Ginger turned hostile, seeking to conquer the other 3 realms. She attacked without warning, and the realms have been divided ever since. Sugar Plum warns Clara that if Mother Ginger is not stopped, she will succeed in uniting all realms under her rule through force. Clara is confused. Why would she be the one to help? Sugar Plum then reveals a towering mechanical invention in a hidden workshop, a great toy soldier-making machine designed by Marie herself. This machine has the power to bring lifeless toys to life, creating an army to defend the realms. However, it requires a special key to operate, the very same key that belongs to Clara's egg. The mouse that stole it serves Mother Ginger. Clara pushes forward, fear gripping her heart, but her resolve stronger than ever. She finally reaches the 4th realm's stronghold, a massive, weathered carousel-like structure that serves as Mother Ginger's base. The towering wooden puppet guards stand watch, their hollow eyes scanning for intruders. Clara steps into the courtyard, hands raised, calling out that she comes in peace. The clown guards approach cautiously, but before they can attack, Mother Ginger herself appears. This time, Clara doesn't accuse, she listens. Mother Ginger explains that Sugar Plum twisted the truth. The 4 realms once lived in harmony, but when Marie left to live in the human world, Sugar Plum began feeling abandoned and powerless. She grew resentful, convincing the other regents that Mother Ginger was plotting against them. In truth, Mother Ginger had been trying to protect the realms from Sugar Plum's ambitions. Clara apologizes for doubting her and explains that Sugar Plum now has the key and is using Marie's machine to build her army. Mother Ginger sighs heavily, admitting that once activated, the machine is nearly impossible to stop, but there might be a way. If they can jam the gears or reverse the mechanism, the soldiers will return to lifeless toys. Clara's inventor's mind sparks with ideas. Philip arrives, having escaped from the palace guards. Together, they devise a daring plan: infiltrate the palace workshop, disable the machine, and cut off Sugar Plum's power before the soldiers overrun the realms. Mother Ginger offers her clown guards to aid in the mission, and for the first time, the 4th realm and the princess fight side by side. Under the cover of darkness, they travel back to the palace. Snow falls heavily, muffling their steps as they slip past sentries. Inside, the grand workshop roars with the sound of grinding gears. The towering machine looms above them, spitting out soldier after soldier, each one marching into the night to join the invasion force. Sugar Plum stands on a balcony, her wand glowing as she directs the soldiers. Clara signals to Philip and the clowns. They scatter to create distractions, drawing the soldiers' attention while Clara climbs up the side of the machine. Her fingers search for a weak point, her mind racing through mechanical possibilities. She spots a main drive gear turning the entire assembly and pulls a small screwdriver from her belt, one she always carries, a gift from her mother. She wedges the tool between the teeth of the gear. The machine groans, shudders, and finally grinds to a halt. Sparks fly as the gears lock. The towering toy soldiers freeze mid-step. Sugar Plum spins around in shock, shouting at Clara to stop, but it's too late. Philip charges up the stairs to protect Clara. The clown sees Sugar Plum's wand, and without its magic, she begins to shrink, her regal dress folding in on itself until she is no taller than a small porcelain doll. Clara picks up the tiny Sugar Plum, placing her gently but firmly inside a glass case, one of the many display boxes in the workshop. The once powerful fairy now stares out helplessly, trapped by her own greed. With the machine disabled and Sugar Plum defeated, the four realms begin to heal. The regents, now united, thank Clara for her bravery and her wisdom in seeking the truth. Philip escorts Clara back to the ancient tree, where the golden string still glows faintly. She thanks him for his loyalty and courage. Philip bows deeply, calling her the most like her mother, not because of her title, but because of her heart. Clara smiles, touched by the words, and steps into the hollow trunk. The world around her shifts. Snow turns to candlelight, the forest to the ballroom of Drosselmeyer's estate. Clara blinks, realizing she is back at the Christmas Eve party. In her hands, she still holds the silver egg. Something compels her to twist the key once more, letting the soft melody fill the air. As the tune plays, she understands. The egg's true gift was never something material, but the reminder of her mother's creativity, courage, and love. Clara approaches her father, who has been searching for her. She takes his hand, telling him she misses her mother deeply, but also knows that they must keep living, cherishing the memories they have. For the first time in a long while, her father's eyes soften, and they share a quiet moment of connection. As the party continues, Clara glances out the window into the snowy night. She almost thinks she sees Philip standing in the shadows, giving her a small, proud nod before fading into the darkness. Clara smiles to herself, the music of the egg still playing softly, and she knows she will carry the magic of the four realms with her forever.